Hey everybody, this week we're going to be doing a fun math challenge. You're going to be gathering clues all week through a series of math tasks. Your first math task asks you to compare decimals. The directions ask us to crack the code by first looking at each boxed pair of decimals. In each box, cross out the lesser value decimal, meaning the smaller decimal, and circle the greater one. Keep the letter of the greater decimal visible to reveal a message at the end. And the first one has been done for us. So let's take a look at the first few letters. This is going to be like the first word, I think, to our secret code. Okay, so here we can see that in the first box, they've already marked that 809 thousandths is larger or has a greater value than 512 thousandths. So remember that each of these numbers can be written in fraction form. This would be 512 thousandths, and next to it I can write 809 thousandths. And that can be one way to look at the two values and see which one is bigger. You can also use a place value chart to help keep track of your tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. So remember that tenths, that's going to be your first, well, I should show it in decimal form, hang on. Okay, so if we have 512, the 5 is in the tenths place, the 1 is in the hundredths place, so that would be like your dimes and pennies if it was money. And then the third digit, that's your thousandths place. When you're comparing decimals, always start with the tenths place first. Compare the digits in the tenths place first. Okay, so let's look at number 2. For number 2, we have 32 hundredths, which we can write in fraction form like this. And we have 24 hundredths, which we can write in fraction form like this. So since this is hundredths, you could also think of it as being like money. Which would you rather have, 32 cents or 24 cents? Okay, so this is clearly the larger amount, so I'm going to circle the larger amount and cross out the smaller amount. So the first two letters of my secret message are AL. Now I'm going to move on to the next one. Let's see. How would you read this number? 62 thousandths. Remember, we're going to read the digits to the right of the decimal point as if there was no decimal point there, and then say the place value word. So this one would be 62 thousandths. And then next to it we have 7 hundredths. Which I can write, let's see, 7 hundredths would be 70 out of 1,000. Okay, so remember, always start with the tenths place first, and in this case, we have a 0 in the tenths place for both numbers. And then when we move over to our hundredths place, we can see a 6 in one spot and the 7 in the other spot. So that tells me that this is the greater number. 7 hundredths is greater than 62 thousandths. So that's another L. So the first word of my secret code is all. Now you guys continue on your own and solve the rest of the secret code. The only written work that's necessary for this assignment is to just circle the greater number and cross out the smaller number, and then write the secret code at the bottom of the sheet. It's not required to show any more thinking than that. Once you're done solving the mystery code, that should help you eliminate a character or group of characters from your character sheet. So once you know what the code is, go to your character list in the Monday folder and cross out any characters who you know are not guilty of taking the donuts.